Very good price action coming out of ticker symbol COSM. Let's go ahead and take a look at the probabilities for the coming days. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you with a COSM technicals, raw price action, and statistical threat of analysis on this happy Monday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCa Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. So this is actually going to be a little bit of a hit up towards my haters and doubters, right? So let's just go ahead and pull this right up here and take a quick listen as to what was mentioned right before we finished the session on Friday, right? Let's go ahead and take a listen to this now. If that pullback is actually very likely for us to come back to around $3.14. Yeah, I would say about $3.14 or 15 cents for reloading back, so to continue to that upside. Okay, so now, so that is what was mentioned, right? So we talked about $3.14 or 15. So let's just go ahead and take a look at the price action from today. This is the candle that we faced at the beginning. I'm sorry, from today. And you can see right here on the L, right? Let's go ahead and look at that low. We got a retracement back to $3.13, right? As to come back and reload so that we can continue on to the upside. Okay, so not sure what to say here other than duh, right? So let's go ahead and continue. All right, so as I do have a few other things to show you. Okay, so actually, you know what, we can go ahead and dive right back in to that little bit of proof that I have here for you. One more to kind of actually just touch down based on let's just go ahead and hear it. I'm not gonna blow the surprise here for you. Okay, so yeah, here you go. The probabilities are for an upside move. So usually these formations tend to realize when we're at about 60 to 65% to the apex of the triangle. And as in this case, we are definitely at about 65%. Okay, so yeah, so what I'm talking about there is, if you can see on the screen still, you can see that that green candle that I'm pointing at is very much this one right over here, right? So this candle here. So that candle, this is today's price action, both of these candles here, okay? So yes, we were talking about being at about 65% to the apex, right? So how am I figuring that? Well, the total length of this triangle here is 47 days long. So take 70% of that and it's 29 days. 29 days leading right up to that candle we were talking about, all right? So we started breaking out. Okay, so we definitely got that breakout, just like we said. You can see on the image, right? You can see on the image that there's no two candles following that, right? So I'm not making this up. I'm just giving you the higher probability play here. It really doesn't mean anything else other than that. So this is just kind of to show my little haters out there that I did say it. Okay, so let's go ahead and just block the visibility on that and continue the analysis. Okay, so we are going to touch down now on, yes, we definitely got that breakout. Okay, so upon the breakout from this type of triangle, which by the way, I have two types of bulls to show you regarding this triangle. Okay, there's a shorter time frame falling wedge and a longer time frame falling wedge. So we're going to touch bases on both of those because they're both bull cases. Okay, so from the criteria first, let's go ahead and touch down on the criteria because I actually did make some extra research here for the bulls regarding the first standard deviation. So I actually went deeper into the analysis for us to gain a deeper edge, right? So anytime that volatility has contracted into the critical volatility zone, which could be beneath or within the 15 percentile here, I have taken actually and paired with stochastic momentum for an upside pivot here, that would be the condition, right? So I have taken note of every time actually that has happened throughout the entire trading history of the COSM asset on the 8-hour chart. Okay, so there have been 9 iterations, of which 6 were guessed correctly to the upside, giving us a 66.66% chance that the upside will happen based on the meeting of that condition or criteria. right? So the mean is the mean, or AKA the averaged upside thrust, is giving us 206.89% to the upside. Okay, so now that I do have the calculations based on statistics, if you are familiar with statistics, right, we can use like a kind of like the bell curve to it kind of looks something like this here, right? So 68% of the 68% of the results land right at that center, and I'm sorry that I actually can't get that center, right? So 68% of the results land at that center, which is called the standard deviation, and that would be 382.87% to the upside. Okay, now following the metrics here, the lower end of the first standard deviation is minus 175.98%, which is unusable, right? So we can't have a negative read. But we could have a positive one, right? So now the first standard deviation upper end is actually leading to about 589.76%, right? So I can just go ahead and leave it kind of right there, and this is where that is. And then in fact, we can actually just put this right above up here, and that would be our standard deviation of about 382.87%, right? So that would be 68% of the results. Right at the center, we have this to be the top side, and we have an unusable data set. I'm sorry, we have an unusual digit that we calculated as being a negative number, being that 175.98. So based on, so anything within 206 to all the way to 589% is absolutely possible. Right. So, but we have to start looking at the probabilities within all of those numbers, right? So, yes, the mean is 206% based on any time that condition has met, right? So 206% to the upside takes us to a massive $9 and like 30-cent move, right? So that's huge. But there are other metrics and there are other things to consider within the trade for us to kind of make an educated decision here. So one being that this falling wedge does have a method of trading, right? So you can actually take this trend line that I drew before, right? I mean, you remember that I actually showed it. You see that green trend line there, right? So I would, you would actually take that trend line from the top side of the triangle to the lower end of the triangle, apply it to the supposed area of breakout, which just so happened to be the area where we were looking at. And that takes you to a top side of about $4.07, which has confluence with the 2.618, right? So that's usually how you trade this formation. Okay, so now I want to actually show you the longer bull, right? The longer term bull trader. Okay, so this is another falling wedge, but this one's located on the daily chart. So the one that we were looking at prior to this was actually from here, right, in this smaller area. Now, this is a larger term falling wedge, of which is already within the 70% and attempting to break out already. It's peeking through this, right? So again, this is actually, there's actually several ways of looking at the breakout for this formation too. So again, we take a trend line from the, actually, you know what? I would have to correct this trend line just a little bit because it has to be from the top side of the triangle all the way to the lower end of the triangle, right? Just like that. Let's just make a little correction there just to make sure that we are, well, that's good enough. All right, so we apply it to that potentially tomorrow, right? We're going to apply it to that breakout there, and it's taking us to about $4.58, which is just upside of the 2.618, and it would be suggesting that we clear the mean band from the Gaussian channel on the daily, which would be at about 426. That would be incredibly bullish. I'm not saying that we're going there. I'm just saying that that's how it's traded, right? So now the other way of trading this formation would actually be taking into consideration the center of the triangle, right? So the center of the triangle being right at about here, right? So then we can take that measurement and applying it to, the area of breakout, which could be right there, right? Similar to the other one. And that's taking us right to the 2 fib at about 406. All right, the next one would actually be from the point of breakout. So let's just adjust this just a little bit here and assume that we would be breaking out from this point, say tomorrow, right? Just figuratively speaking. So then we can take that and apply it to tomorrow's break, right? And that price action is taking us right to the 1.272 at 365. Okay, but if you remember correctly, or if you remember, the 2-spot 618 located at 407, that's rhyming with our 406 target with the center of the triangle. So there are three ways of trading these falling wedges, right? So three ways, meaning that you can take, there are several bulls that would take it from the center, several bulls that will take it from the point of breakout, and several bulls that would take it from the larger area, right? So just to kind of give some information out there, some educational purpose out there for this formation. But yeah, the center of the triangle is actually rhyming very nicely with the 2 fib at 406, and it's also rhyming with our shorter time frame falling wedge at 407 and our geometric target of about the 407, the 2-spot 618, right? So yeah, so let me see if we have actually anything. I was going to say, actually, you know what? Yeah, let's pull it up. Let's see if we have some averages located in that, somewhere around there. So we have the SMA 50 located right at the 1-spot 272, which is where the shorter time frame breakout leads to, which is already very curious. So that means that we can actually face a resistance from that $3.65. Thus, actually, we can actually come right back down to the not 618, which is $3.29, right where we are right now, which is very bullish, right? So we can come back down there, validate it as a support, then bounce to the upside, thus fulfilling the upper targets. Okay, so that's looking very good. All right, you guys, so let's continue the analysis here, and this is going to be particular to the Gaussian channel. Yesterday we spoke about the 334 or 335 bounce that we got from our resistance, where the daily reversion variant was showing us, right? So that it was right over here that we faced that resistance. So now we move to the buy daily, and you can see that my reversion variant actually gave us a resistance range of about $3.47, of which the price action reached $3.51, right? So we definitely use that as resistance, but we're knocking on the door. So we actually cleared the bottom side of our support that we were looking at yesterday. We cleared the top side of the support and the buy daily reversion variant mean, and now, I mean, things are still suggesting the upside. And why I'm saying that is actually because of this. So the RSI 30-minute immediate short-term time frame, we have a short-term downside here, which is likely to live out pretty fast, right? So these are just very, I mean, 30 minutes, right? It's just within the first couple hours of the trading session. Some limited downside here. We're showing some weakness from the bears there too. But as we move on to the 4-hour, you can see that we're clearly on an upward path, and we have the gravitational zone now. We're right within the gravitational zone, very likely for us to get pulled into the bull strength percentile. Okay, so now moving into the 8-hour, this would actually, the 4-hour would then cascade into the 8-hour, thus pressuring the upside even further, right? And the 8-hour would then domino into the daily, which is this is literally what we were talking about on the previous video, right? So getting close to that gravitational zone, and we're starting to get a very slight pivot here on that daily 14-day simple moving average. This has not seen the price action that happened after hours, which was an additional 5% up, right? So this is likely to be affected right at the opening of the session tomorrow. What I would like to mention here, you guys, is that we officially made a bullish cross above the 14-day simple moving average, and I'm talking about the 14-day represented by the pink line. The RSI signal is the purple line, right? So we have that upside there, and also on the 5-day. Okay, so the 5-day is now making its bullish cross above that 14-day simple, and now we are closer than ever to that gravitational zone from the bear strength percentile. Okay, so that's pretty significant. So if we close in the green tomorrow, which actually, you know what? Let me see how long is it going to take for us to close this 5-day iteration, right? So if we're on the, let's see if we can even have that data right now. Oh, actually, we do. Okay, it's hard to see. 2 days and 18 hours. No problem. I was going to say if it was going to close soon enough, right? But no, it's still got some time for us to make that closure, you guys. But nonetheless, it's the 5-day giving us an upside pivot here. So very likely the asset is to continue on to the upside tomorrow. Okay, so, and I would actually express some I would actually express a short-term pullback here from that $3.65 zone where the SMA 50 is located, where the breakout zone from our psychological price objective is from the triangle, and also our geometric one spot 272 365. Okay, you guys, so very likely we can actually touch that target tomorrow, and then we can actually come back down to the area of about 329 to face, yes, the triangle bottom here, also the SMA 10 at 329, and our geometric target of the knot 618 at 329. Okay, you guys, before we can continue on to the upside here, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this video off right there, guys. So the master's course already started on Sunday, but that was just the introductory week. So if you are still interested, I still have about 2 seats left in the ArcMasters trading course. Okay, so definitely send me an email. You can find it below and we'll get you enrolled. Okay, you guys, well, thank you so much for stopping by, for watching this video. Please remember, first and foremost, that I'm not a financial advisor, right? Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy or sell any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be good. Okay, but with that said, I wish you well, a very, very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.